Hello, it's meow time for KittenousBeast gaming videos for cats and their people. KatzeLande Prime, episode 18. Alright, so last time we were fixing up the way our ventilation system was going to work for working on the natural gas geyser. So we configured that area with cooling and a sort of like dialed in um, a dialed in ventilation system to remove the natural gas out of the system. And, you know, working on a few other items in the base. And what we're going to do today is really focus on the interior of the base and try and do some upgrades and accommodate for the additional duplicate we just brought on board. So I'm going to try and do my best to do some optimization of the space we have here and make some tweaks just so that maybe things work a little bit better or make more sense. So we'll give it a shot. First thing I want to do here is add in a fire pole. Let's load some materials to kind of compute here. Fire pole for here to make it easier for my dupes to get up and down this particular part of the base. And then what I'm going to do is remove the electric grill and add an additional ladder here. Because what I'd like to do is have a little ladder going down there, and that's where we're going to kind of change the configuration here. Yeah, so my plan is to remove the ladder here and shift the systems over just a small touch. So I'll move this refrigerator closer. So I'll be kind of rebuilding things as I go. So we'll move the contents over as well. Just let things get built for a second here. Alright, so I'm going to just copy the settings. This one to that one. And then lower the priority of the one refrigerator so that the dupes are move the contents from one to the other. Poor Nicola doesn't have a bed yet, so he's going to be kind of annoyed. You kind of notice the carbon dioxide is kind of gathering here, so we need to find a way of dealing with that particular effect. And one of the things that I'm planning on doing here is lowering the whole mushroom farm. So to that end, I'm also going to be repositioning this door to the edge of the biome, just to make things just that much easier in terms of space for that mushroom farm. It may take me a little while to develop quite as good of a setup, but I think the plan is to kind of shoot down right on top of, actually let me just move it over one more tile. So the plan is to be right on top of those two dead spaces. Right? And we'll just drop down the ladder. And the fire pole of iron. Got a good perfusion of iron going on right now. So we won't take up that meal, but it will have a quick access down. We will be putting in a pneumatic door here. Getting this all planned out. Perfect. Alright, so once they kind of carve this part of the base up a little bit, we'll be able to make some modifications to the mushroom farm here. Yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and just make that little tweak there. Add in that additional farm tile, and I'm going to turn this thing into a quick flip over to this new construction pattern we have going here. So. So we're going to take down this wall here and expand things a little bit. And then I'm thinking maybe it's a good idea to bring a little bit of extra ventilation pressure over to this part of the base. As you can kind of see, the carbon dioxide is floating up a little bit. And I do plan on pushing this farm down a little bit and try and take advantage of some automation technology I have at my disposal at this point. So, you know, I am going to do a heavy revision of this farm at some point, but I don't know how much time I want to invest on this particular piece. So, let's see how this goes, and let's see if we can deal with some of the pressures here. But what I'm really hoping to do here is set up a sort of like a 2 access point system where you know, there's this path down to this separate area where the Pip farm is, and then otherwise there's, you know, they're at the level of this mushroom farm. So adding that additional ventilation piece, you know, this extra volume, might really resolve some of the issues with the carbon dioxide buildup here. So let's see how that goes while the little guys work here. You can see they're making short work of all this little silliness. Anyways, back to the ventilation. So what I'm going to do is just pull a line of the ventilation core off here with a gas bridge, and then we'll just run a gas pipe over, and then I think I'm going to take advantage of this existing ladder here and do an offshoot. Yeah, let's do up. Okay, and then we'll do that pressure gauge to control the vent over here, so that we have a good little build there. Alright, fabulous. Alright, so these guys are kind of stuck, so they need a little assistance. We'll put that with a speed of 9. Oh, Hassan and Ari are stranded. Oh, now they should be good to go. Yeah, so this should free up lots of additional... Oh man, but I should there, or a ladder down. Yeah, that would be good. Yep, it's always a little bit of an ebb and flow with some of this stuff, because as you're building it, you kind of think, oh, maybe I should do it a little bit differently. You have to kind of like go with your gut on some of that stuff. But let's go ahead and do some sanitation. So I want to use this part of this downspout to allow for easy access out. So again, these access points in don't necessarily allow them to go back out. So that'll mean they'll sanitize. Remember, there's they're handling slime to feed these things, so it's kind of like slightly dangerous for them to be doing that. And then I'm planning on kind of moving these back and adding more mushroom farms in. So it's just a slight revision. I might eventually dig down, and I might want to try and do some sort of automation. But that's another piece that I have to worry about. It's like solving the issue with my present technology. So I don't have any way to do any additional research right now. When we built this cooling loop, in the process of doing some of these revisions on the space, we removed our capacity to produce water for research. So the supercomputer can't really work right now. And that's not really a big deal. I can just pull a water line right off of this and get the water to where it needs to go. But now would be a good time to devise a nice solution to that problem. So one thing that I'm sort of thinking about right now is maybe developing a maybe like a little well over here that has like hot water in it and it's well insulated. So maybe that would be like a good option. Usually I like to put it right next to the supercomputer if possible, but I don't see that as a real good opportunity just yet. Maybe what I could do is just build it over here so it's like not too far away. It's a shorter errand. So let's build it up. So I'm going to do this reservoir here and with a little shielding here, and this is not that big of a deal, so we're using pneumatics, and we will have the pitcher pump in here. Oh, not enough space. So maybe we'll go up a tile with the whole construction. Okay, so we're going up one tile. That's two tiles, but this will be fine. So we're going up one tile. And we are doing the pitcher pump. Whoop. Yeah, this is kind of a frustration here, but let's overcome this challenge and let's get this thing built. We'll go down one. That's fine. And part of it's going to be a ladder. And I'm definitely thinking we're going to have the ladder here, the pitcher pump here, and a plumbing outlet here. So that's how we'll do it. And we're going to plumb it with an insulated pipe. So, we've got this system that has that polluted water in it, and now we want to get water from this system all the way over here. Okay, no big deal. So I can even just pull a line right off of the source here. And we'll just do a little bit of direct pathing here. Hop over that one, the liquid bridge. And pull it up through the base. Hop it over. And not too shabby. Okay. Alright, that should do the project in. So, we'll make sure they mine out these remaining tiles. And now we'll have a little pitcher pump of sort of high temperature water available right here. It will be shielded with insulated tiles, so shouldn't be too big of a deal. Oh my gosh, look at all those pacus. That's nuts. Usually if I get this one, I just kill all the pacus and eat them. That's pretty brutal. But I don't know. Guess we could just have a pacu feast for a few days. Looking at the dupes, nothing's jumping out at me. So let's go with the pacus. And then we'll just do the attack errand on them. I know it's a little tragic, huh? Bye, pacus. It'll be a pacu assassination right here. Man, Bert's an enforcer. Look at that. Taking care of business over here. Alright, so, we're going to destroy these ladders here. Move up our disinfectors just a touch. Enhancing enhancers, just move them over a bit here. Tear down the old ones. This should be fine. So, oh, what's this? Where did we get this hatch from? Huh. Well, that sort of opens up some opportunities for us. I didn't notice we had a hatch in the base. Not sure where that thing came from, but we are going to definitely capitalize on the fact that it's here. So, check out our skill points here. Maybe I should hold off. His morale is kind of close. Ooh, advanced medical care. Perfect. We can do some exosuit training with Lindsay. Why not? Get her the skill that she would love to have. And yeah, Nails is up in max critter ranching. Critter ranching 2. Fabulous. Okay. Things are going okay over here. Alright. So I might also just go ahead and put in a couple of automation pieces here. So if someone's operating the pitcher pump, we can have a lamp shine to increase their operation speed. So I think we'll go with that and automate that. Try and make it look a little neat. And then we need some power over there too. So that'll do. Okay. A little bit of a couple tweaks here. And then we can finish off this part of the build. We can do some replacement. So I'm going to deconstruct that. so things are going smoothly here. We've made a transition. So now we have two ways into this sealed chamber, and they're both sanitized. Eventually, we'll get that set up. And we've got a hatch here that we need to take advantage of. So I'm going to have to figure out a way to maybe carve out a little space for a hatch farm, because hatches are great for a couple of different things. So we want to make sure we're trying to take advantage of that. And over here, we're getting some water in here. So we're going to get access to water. It's coming right off of this water sieve. And the polluted dirt is kind of flopping around. Probably should be better handled. And I'm starting to think about ways we can maybe take advantage of the fact that we do have some mechatronics engineers on hand. So what tasks can we automate with a sweeper that would really be beneficial for the base? You know, that's kind of the name of the game. So one thing that I've kind of noticed is I've got the sublimation station and the rusty oxidizer over here. And if I do I not even have the shipping menu? No, I don't even think I've researched it. So we've got to do the research first. So let's maybe do that. Alright. Yep, we can get our sweeper here and rails. Some basic stuff. So let's go ahead and do that. We've got water flowing in here. So they can start doing research with the supercomputer. And this water is a little bit hotter because it's from my hot side of my water tank. So that's fine. This hot water is going to get deleted by the supercomputer, so no harm, no foul. And as long as I've insulated the area properly, which I kind of have here, shouldn't make any difference. The fact that we've got a little hot water right over here. Okay, so the next piece here is to talk about doing a little bit of pip farming. So I've got some land carved out here, and what I want to use this land for is for pip farming. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to plant a whole bunch of plants here using the pip's ability to plant seeds in natural soil. So this whole stretch of land here is going to be populated with natural plants. But the issue is that nearby plants prevent that from happening, natural ones. So it's sort of going to be an artificial planting ground, but these plants would interfere with the pips placing the plants properly. So I've got to eliminate all the other natural plants in the zone. So I'm going to go ahead and do that next. But I want to have multiple layers. So the next layer that I see here is this layer. So I'm going to carve out these layers right now because those are the layers I'm going to make with as a second set of plants. So we'll do that. And then this next layer down here, I don't know if I want to use these this last layer. I might want to just turn this into natural to like base building stuff. So I'll think about it, but let's just see how this first set goes. I have a lot of seeds. I want to spend them, obviously. That's kind of the plan. Lowering the building line to the appropriate height here. So I want to spend those seeds if I can. So you know, let's see what we come up with here. I'm gonna put a gate there because we're gonna seal the pips in this zone. Pip, drop off. And we'll need a container to hold the seeds. And we'll put the door in place. Okay, so that's going to form a simple sealed chamber where our pips can go and do their work. So like all these plants here, they gotta go. They would interfere with my sort of planned planting pattern here. So I gotta dig these guys up. Sorry, but I just gotta do it. This is too far out of range, it won't interfere, but these are close enough where it would interfere with the plantings here. So I'm gonna dig those guys up. All these plants gotta go. These ones too. This one, probably not. I can probably keep that one. And I'm gonna kind of continue down the hill with this little particular group of natural plants by the pips. So I'm gonna kind of work around this arbor tree. Or maybe I'll take it out and replant it. But yeah, we gotta take all this stuff down. So I'll let the gang do their work, and they're doing a great job. I mean, they've got a lot of this territory cleared up. I've got oxyferns ready to go. Let's put them in the ground. Get an advantage. We got 4. That's a lot. Alright, so I can actually place additional hydroponic farms down and get additional oxyferns planted. That's incredible. That's awesome. So I want to set this to, let's see, how many are we going to have? 15. So 15 and we do 0.6. So that's like 0.9. So that'd be like 9 grams a second would be what we would want. Okay, so I'll set that filter to this gas valve to 9 per second. And then we'll open up this gas reservoir to let that amount out so that it is always available to our oxyferns. Because these are going to eventually overtake whatever carbon dioxide flows down here. So we need to provide an artificial flow, if possible. Okay, so that's great. And this is really, really water efficient as well. The oxyfern conversion that happens is like slightly beneficial, slightly better efficiency-wise compared to the water that you'd spend using the what are these things called again? Electrolyzer. Yeah, that splits the water into oxygen and hydrogen. So we'll see. Yep, we got plenty of water now for research, so that problem's solved. I had lost that little pitcher pump over here, and I needed to replace it to keep doing what needed to be done in terms of research. And I am going to add additional insulated tiles here just to seal that area up a little bit better. My poor little guy is still sleeping on the floor. I haven't built him a little house. And that's what actually what I'm kind of planning on doing here is you know, getting this set up so when it's below 1500, I think is the plan. Right, so what I'm gonna do is I think I'm gonna move the mess tables down so that I can turn it into a what's that name of that room? The Great Hall. So that can be 120 tiles large. So my plan is to just kind of build a room around the printing pod. It provides light. That's kind of nice. I'll leave that deodorizer in place. I can deconstruct these storage bins. That's not a big deal. And I can kind of keep it at this height, and it can be a decent sized room with plenty of benches for our friends to eat. And it's not too far off from the refrigerator. So this is not too bad of a plan. So that's what we're going to try and do here. I try to use gold for the benches. That's nice. And that gets us to, let's see here, 5, 10. Yeah. I think maybe we want to go up as high as we can go in the space. So let's deconstruct these ladders real quick. And we'll put some more benches in. Maybe we can get... Yeah, that's another 5. That'd be really nice. That's 15 tubes. That's not so bad for one haul. Put the door in place. And this might be big enough where we could even put some nice decorations in at some point. Look at that. That works nicely with the this is looking nice. I think this is in the size limits. Yeah, it's with under 120, so that would work. All I need is some decoration items. But that's going to require a little bit of research, so we can do that. I don't think I have an artist yet. Ooh, that's probably the next thing I'll look for in a duplicate. I've got a couple of burgeoning ranchers, but yeah, and Ari's kind of up there with his morale, so no point in pushing him over the edge. As soon as you have a duplicate that has like aggravated morale, feel like you're not providing good enough services to them, it's just a real pain. So it's better to just save up their skill points until you have the additional morale, and we'll work on it. Getting a great haul in place is going to improve everybody's morale. So this is a smart move. I wish they'd finish these hand sanitizers. This is kind of silly that they're letting that outgas over there. Yeah, okay, so now we've got the sanitation set up. Great, right? So, we'll just put some mushrooms in here and keep the party going with dupes. So, like, putting some more mushrooms in place is going to just make it so that we have the correct amount of food for the colony. So, you know, now I have a little bit more room to plant more mushrooms. It's just going to mean that we can support some more duplicants. Now, mushrooms aren't the end all be all of food, of course, but it's what I have available to me, so I might as well just do what I can with the resources I have available. Yeah. We'll get some more mushrooms in place and we'll be really good to go in terms of our number of calories produced. And with the slime being a few tiles in, it means that there's not going to be that double tap on cleansing that they were doing before. So that works fine. So I'm going to go ahead and just deconstruct the existing tables to speed up the process of building the new ones. Alright, so at this point we've sort of laid the foundations for a great haul here. But in order to put in a great haul, we're going to need some additional research completed. I haven't done much into the decor research, and so I may want to go all the way up to high culture here. So we're going to get through several research pieces with Ruby and whoever else decides to jump on the research stations while Ruby's working. So once we have those, we'll be able to get a great haul by providing some additional decor bonus. Fortunately, we've got some, there's definitely some chlorine floating around in here. There's not very many good options to get rid of that chlorine. And this one doesn't have a mess hall bonus, it's too big. But once we get those decorative items in place, it'll be a great haul, and it'll provide a little bit more of a bonus to the duplicates. And then once I get this transfer completed with the once they take down those additional chairs. Let's see what we got. Some water. Don't mind if I do. Who doesn't want some water? Although, no, that's too bad. Yep, go with the water. That's a no-brainer. So, one of the things that I'm going to be doing here is I'm going to be setting up some future-proof housing with my dupes so that I'm like anticipating their needs into the future. This is almost set up to do the first what I'm really after here. So I'm going to be planting arbor acorn, bog buckets, anything else that I want to plant. I don't really want to do thimble seeds. I really just want to do the ones that are going to give me some good resources. So, you know, these bog buckets are going to give me extra calories for free. They're pretty easy to plant. They're easy, you know, they have a short lifespan. So, and the arbor acorns are going to give us fuel. So, we're going to put those into this container here. And I think we have a good amount of seeds. So if I check my resources here, see we've got 8 arbor acorns and only 1 bog bucket seed, but I mean that's fine. But we'll be planting the arbor acorns into the soil here. So what I'm going to do is just block off most of this space with a ladder, and then you know, they'll plant the first seed there, and then we'll block off the rest of these spots with ladders, and we'll unbuild them as we want the planting to go. So we'll just let that happen. And the same thing's going to need to happen over here on this side. So although, you know, this natural plant environment here is going to interfere, especially these two. So we're probably going to lose some of our planting capacity over here, but that's fine because we've already taken advantage of this, the reed farm over here, the thimble reeds. So I'm going to go ahead and uproot these because these are not going to be a part of the land. I'm going to have it be spaced out over here. So we'll get those taken care of. Right, so you know, we now have, let's see here, 27-ish tiles. That's 9 duplicates worth of food, and we have 8 duplicates, so we're ahead of the game in terms of calories just from the raw mushrooms. Doesn't even count the additional calories we might get from dealing with broken eggs or so forth. So speaking of broken eggs, where are we going to cook the food? So I kind of destroyed where our grill had been built, and we need to rebuild that pretty soon. So my plan here is to try and fit it in over here. I think it needs 3 or 4 tiles. I might even put it over here. Yeah, I might move this research station around. Maybe I could put it below. These are the challenging choices of our times right now. So, maybe I'll put it over here and move the refrigerator over to this side. No, that doesn't make sense. Yeah, we'll have to take out the research station and put the grill over here. That's the best choice, I think. And then I'll just bump the research station over 1 unit and we'll be back in business. Yeah, we're at it. Alright. Yeah, we're almost good to go here. Uh-oh. Oh no! This Pokeshell is murdering, Nicola. Nicola is sleeping by the Pokeshell's egg. The Pokeshell is like killing Nicola right now because the egg is bothering. Yeah, so what we'll do here is we'll do this pinch row egg. Right, we'll make this priority 9. And we'll find that pinch row egg wherever it is. There it is. So we'll just sweep that. We'll make it a yellow alert so it gets taken care of. Okay, see, boom. Now they're not going to be killing anyone anymore because their egg is gone. Crisis solved for the few seconds here. Yeah. I gotta get rid of these Pokeshells. I'm not sure what to do with them. They consume like rotted food items, I think. What do they eat? Rotted, polluted dirt or rot piles. And right now I'm using polluted dirt to generate oxygen with a sublimator. I don't want to like interfere with that. That would be bad for, you know, my operations here. So, I'm not really sure what to make of that particular one. So, alright, so we're gonna go ahead and keep working and rebuild some habitat here for my dupes. So, first things first, we're going to talk about what we need to make a bedroom. So it's got to be 4 tiles high at least to be considered a bedroom. And it's nice to make it so that their decor is kind of maxed out. So when I do bedrooms, I typically try to do like, and I'm going to build an example one over here, kind of to start. And we're going to use this as the boundary. Not this. This is going to be maybe a storage zone. I might throw down some storage units here to handle some things, especially the the egg situation here with critter eggs and whatnot get loose. So put that in place for us. I'm gonna dig this out. So, yeah. Guess maybe I could even just... Yeah, that wouldn't really work though. So, smarter to just keep the ladder on the outside here. And we'll put some airflow on the edge. Right. So I'm going to be adding in some airflow tiles just to kind of keep things on the up and up. Yeah, with the flow of the spaces here in this area. Oh, and I guess I shouldn't really worry about these. I'm going to be kind of building some of that stuff. So we'll just kind of, what is this? 5, 5 more. Yeah. Just kind of spacing things out in a neat, tidy way, just to make things easier. Alright, so, bedrooms. We need a door, of course, between the bedrooms. We need 4 tiles of height, so our boundary line here is going to be up here at the 4 tile height mark. Alright, making good progress here. We should be on the right track for some nice bedrooms here. Now, we're not going to immediately get the bedroom perk because we're just going to be using cots. But once we put the bed in there, it's going to be a finished product. So I think the ideal is to maybe have 5 tiles, because the big bed takes up 3 tiles. It's like a 3x2 object. So it's kind of nice to have 5 tiles of space, and then another door and another bedroom. So that's kind of what we're going to shoot for, just to make this project as pain-free as possible. Now, because we're still not in a full bedroom situation, I am actually going to sort of double up people here. So they're going to be doubled up, so that, you know, eventually this would be 1 bedroom, but I'm going to make it so it's temporarily 2 bedrooms, so that, you know, I have some sort of, and this should count as a, let's see, would it count as a barracks? 12 tiles. Yeah, we've got more than 12 tiles, so it'll be like a little barracks, and it'll be nice. You know, we'll put a little plant in there, and maybe a couple paintings or something. I don't know. We'll get there. Yeah, we've got some art objects possible, but the issue, unfortunately, with us is we don't have any artists on hand yet. So, kind of my gut is to just do some embellishments that are easy to do, don't require an artist, such as planting a little plant, such as these trim pieces. So I'm going to put some trim pieces in place. I'm going to use the correct material. I'm trying to do that, but keep making a mistake. I'm going to use granite because it's going to look better. We'll do little corner pieces and granite. Wow, it's going to look so fancy. Gotta wait for them to build it. And then we'll put a little plant in there. Granite plant. That'll look fabulous. And then once we have built these two beds, we can delete one of these beds and start building the next set. So that's the plan right now. So I'm going to move Ellie over here, and Ellie needs to be assigned with somebody who's on the opposite schedule. So Ellie is in this schedule. Let's put somebody who's in the opposite. So let's keep Ruby in the opposite schedule. So we'll assign this bed to Ruby. So that way, Ellie's snoring won't affect Ruby, and it'll be fine. And since Ellie's on the edge, I can keep building these two people rooms, no problem. So it should be fine. I'm gonna kind of go ahead and come in from the other side here. Right, we're almost set for doing some planting over here. I think all we've got to do now is just put all the seeds away. So, uh-oh, what's happening over here? There's like water leaking out of here. I'm not really sure why. That's hot water too. That's that water we want spreading around our base. Yeah, that's definitely suboptimal. I'm not sure why that water overflowed, because it should have just filled up the tile like usual. But yeah, that's what I get for not maybe having a buffer tile in place. Right, so we'll put in some earth leaf. Everything is going great. According to plan is how I would phrase it. So we're going to put in 2 more beds. Same exact sort of pattern here. So 2 beds with a flower pot in between. Pneumatic door, and we're going to keep on keeping on with this pattern until we get exactly what we need. So now that I've kind of, we're working on this reframing of the housing. Once we complete this project, I think what I'll likely do next is just work on the farms here. So one thing I want to make sure is that the seeds are kind of out of the area there. So I'm going to go ahead and put this filter on seeds as well. And that should get us all the other seeds. And I am going to remove the bog bucket and the arbor acorn from this list. Got some sand. There's one guy with creativity. Here's a cooking guy. That'd be kind of fun. But no, that's fine. We'll just get the sand. Yeah, so this part of the base is going to be sacrificed to, build housing for dupes. So I'm going to just go ahead and cut into this. I know that there's some oxylite tiles that I'll kind of leave in place for as long as possible, but yeah, it's time to just commit to the redesign of this space. Uh-oh, that's not the right spacing. Keep cooping up on the space in there. Okay, so we'll rebuild that pneumatic door and get everything in the right spot. So, as you can see, the days of this piece of my base are now ended. Now it's time to rebuild a new chapter of what this base is going to look like in terms of the housing for the dupes. So they're going to go ahead and just deconstruct everything for me, and we're just going to rebuild it as quickly as possible. We've got stuck dupes over here. Loads of stuck dupes, so... Alright, so we're almost there. Lost a little bit of time due to that fumbling, but we'll make it happen. So, put in place some additional ladder here. Get our mirth leaf. Finish our granite, nice decor items. Sometimes it's hard to put in position some of these decorative items, so we do our best. Okay, so we're up to 6 dupes here. We need to keep moving along, keep building this system that we have going on here. So we've got 2 more cots. That's going to get us up to 8. Flower pot. Build in those walls just as we have past few. I wonder how nicely this is going to work out. So if we go one more, it's just a little bit off. But, honestly, we could have one room be extra big for somebody. Just be like, oh, they get like the really nice room. Maybe like Ruby or Bert would get that room, give them a really nice room. So I'm gonna go ahead and go with that plan. where there's just a little bit of extra space between these two bunk mates here. And we're going to do 2 plants instead of 1, because we don't have an artist on hand yet, so we'll seal it in the right way. And so now we've taken our housing situation, we've formalized it a little bit, we've established boundaries for what would be a future single-person room with the correct bed type. So with that place, it means that I've got a bunch of little barracks here. There's some dirt on the ground. We're gonna get that cleaned up in no time. But we'll get there. Just a matter of time. Sometimes we gotta do a little reconfiguring. And again, this goes back to the concept of that the iterative development process, where you're deconstructing and reconstructing your base as you go. And that's just part of the fun of the game, honestly. So, you've probably seen me kind of hem and haw at some of the details, but like when this is finished, it's going to be very, very nice, and it's not going to require a full redesign next time. I'm planning it out so that when I do switch to the comfy beds for the dupes, and they each have their own bedroom, when I get to that point, it's not going to be a traumatic process to redesign the whole facility. I've devised this so that the spaces will work out. I'll be able to put in the decorative items, it'll look nice, and the dupes will all be happy. So, planning it out thoughtfully and getting it configured right has some nice benefits, if you have the patience for that kind of thing, of course. Yeah, we're coming up on the end of the video here. I'm going to stick it out through the end of the cycle, but I was hoping I'd get a little bit more done, so I'm a little disappointed I didn't get more done, honestly. But it's challenging to get the spaces designed the way you want. And I was also doing a little planning up here for the Pip Farm, so hopefully that'll go smoothly. And actually, I can maybe even just pull that off now that it's all set up. So I'll just set that a high priority. We'll empty the seeds out of this. So we'll drop the seeds just on the ground. Oh, those mealwood seeds. I gotta get rid of those mealwood seeds. They should be going and getting them. They're not. Kind of a high priority task. But yeah, we'll see. Maybe they'll go up and start cleaning that zone up. We've got a bunch of little mini barracks here. So it's a little bit of an upgrade for the lifestyle of my little friends here. They have a little bit of a nicer place to live. What's wrong with that, Helping out my little friends. They're all working feverishly on some storage errands. That's cool. I would hope that they would sweep up these darn mealwood seeds up here, because I don't want to do any progress until all this is taken care of. So put it on their radar, and hopefully they do the rest. That's the plan. So it looks like they're getting it. Alright. So now that we've got the stage set for the pip planting, I look over here and I'm like, oh geez, these guys are gonna close these plants. So I may have a hard time with this spot here. That's fine. So maybe we have to go in a spot. But then there's all these plants here that need to be getting rid of too, so I might have to dig up these plants first before proceeding with that plan. So let's go ahead and put that in place. Dig up all this stuff. Whoa. Yeah, so we'll just build another set of rooms right on top of here to match these rooms, and that will give us 10 duplicate spaces with the nice full beds. Lots of perks to that. So, we've redesigned several pieces of the base, put in the water pitcher pump for research so we could do that stuff. Talked about our lack of artists, which hopefully we'll be able to address in the future, and discussed our present situation where we're just kind of like doing a little bit of work just to make sure that we're balancing the books as far as our calories, which we've done by expanding the mushroom farm, and then we've got space and room to grow if we wanted to add more duplicates, because why not? At this point, if the duplicate has the stats I need and they're available, I can just recruit them as needed. So that's the kind of position we're in. We're going to get that natural farming on next cycle, I guess. So hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you have a great day, and we'll be seeing you soon.